Oh, God. The lyrical lemonade.
Yes, bro. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the AC Units.
And today we'll be going over our track rankings from Cordae's From a Bird's Eye View. We will only be excluding the interlude, so it'll be a 1 through 13 ranking.
Yeah, so here's how this works. Cory and I have our own separate lists. We haven't told each other what tracks are where, and we're just kind of going to go down the track list and give our thoughts on a certain track and our placements.
And then after we give away our personal list, we will be making a consensus ranking, kind of combining the average scores of our lists and putting them 1 through 13 as a group ranking. So let's go ahead and get into it.
All right, so starting off the track list, we have Shiloh's intro. Now, Cory, where do you have this one placed at?
I have the intro. I just went ahead and put it at number 13, so the bottom of my list.
Oh, really? That's interesting. I have it at number 12.
Okay.
Yeah, so why do you put it at 13 at the end of the list? I feel like it's kind of obvious, but might as well explain it.
You know, if you're looking at it from being track number 1, and you kind of look at it as it's going to be a conceptual album, I think I'd have it higher. But I feel like once we got through more songs in the album, I feel like the concept kind of flew away, so it kind of killed my ranking for this intro. I do kind of like how he casually starts rapping and it progresses and picks up as the intro goes on. And I did like the transition into the next track, but outside of that, I didn't really like this intro compared to the other songs on the album.
I got you. And like as a standalone track, you're not gonna listen to it off the album, so I do get that. However, I do have it placed at 12 because I feel like Shiloh Young, that's who it is, right? I'm pretty certain it is.
Yeah.
I feel like just what he raps about in this, even if it doesn't follow, like the rest of the album doesn't follow a conceptual theme, I still think it was really good. He had some bars. I mean, it's a nice little intro to this album, even if it's not conceptual. I really like the progressive beat, how it builds up, and then that last line where he just says, "I'll let my homie tell it from a bird's eye view." An absolutely beautiful just intro. Like, I wouldn't call it a track, maybe a skit, but like, I really did enjoy it. For what it is, I can't really place it any higher, but it was a nice little intro to the album. It really got me excited. Maybe my hopes were brought down because it wasn't a conceptual album like this intro and the first maybe 3 tracks, put it out to be, but yeah, that's why I have it at 12. All right, so we're done with Shiloh's intro. We're going to move on to track number 2, Jean-Michel. Now, I had Jean-Michel placed at number 1.
Really?
Yes, sir.
I had it 3rd.
Really? Okay.
So, I mean, we can both agree it's one of the better songs on the album.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I want you to explain why
Yeah,
before I explain
I'll get in my
one.
reasoning first since I had it lower.
Yeah.
I think this is a song that I liked right away, but the more I listened to it, I really liked it even more. I mean, I like the intro beat. I like the transition, like I said, from the intro to this song. And I really liked how he could just rap over the same beat, and I really liked it lyrically. I mean, overall, I think it was one of the songs that stuck out to me the most, and it's definitely going to be in my core group of songs as I continue to listen to it throughout the year. But yeah, that's my reasoning for that.
All right, yeah, so my reasoning, why I had it at number 1, I'm a sucker for, like, looped beats in general. So hearing those piano chords just absolutely hit you at the start after that drum fill. Those Sinister piano chords, dude, they loop throughout the whole album, or whole track, and I just found that really enjoyable to listen to. Cordae absolutely flows on this track. It drops some of the best bars of the album yet. Fuck. This is the first track that came.
My flow sinister.
So yeah, comparing this track to the other ones on the album, I didn't really like it at first, but it really did grow on me. There's really nothing much else to say about this track. I just enjoyed it.
Shut up for a sec. So yeah, I wanted to point out that.
You fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, your 30 seconds was up, but I wanted to point out that.
You mother. Okay, what were you gonna say? What's so important?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that if we kind of found out that it wasn't pronounced Jean-Michel and it was like Jean-Michel, I was probably gonna have to move it down at least 4 spots in my rankings.
That's why Jean-Michel is my number 1.
Yeah, so Aaron has it as his number 1, and I put it at number 3. So on to track number 3, we've got Super, and I put this as my number 1, and I'll explain why in a second.
Oh, that is the stupidest decision I've ever seen in my life. Dude, that's so bad. I'm sorry, but I had number 3.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say 13.
Oh.
I was like, oh my gosh. So we flip flopped our 1s and 3s.
That'd be crazy. No, this song is great. Yeah, no, I absolutely love this song. It's the banger track of the album. Like, if you had to pick one of the songs off the album that you're gonna put into a hype playlist, it's gonna be this song no matter what. Cordae sounds hungry on this track. His chorus is super catchy. He drops some crazy bars. He even mentions YBN, mentions his roots and why he dropped the name. Just fits into like the whole heart aspect of the song. But I really do enjoy the beat, that like menacing synth looping in the background. Like I said, I'm a sucker for loop beats. Whoever produced this did really well, and for what it is, I'm number 3 is like it's a good spot for it, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I put it at number one because you kind of like you said, the production I thought right away was awesome. I really liked the beat and the flow of the whole song, and initially I probably wouldn't have put it at number one because I was kind of looking looking forward to it being a conceptual album, and if there was a concept to this album, it probably wouldn't have been this high, but we kind of threw that away. When we lost feel for what the concept was. So then I kind of just looked at it as a playlist more than an album.
Definitely.
And really, that's why I have it number one, because this is the song I would choose out of all 13 of these tracks if I had to pick one, I would pick this one to put on a random playlist and just bump and vibe to. I mean, every time I've listened to the song, it's gotten better and better. And
Gets hyper and hyper.
I know, it just puts me in a really good mood. That's enough for me to put it as the number one track of the album for me.
Yeah. I have a feeling Cory and I's 1 through 3 might be the same. I don't know yet. I don't know his list, but I have a feeling. So we're going to move on to track number 4. We have Momma's Hood. Now, where did you have this one ranked?
I had Mama's Hood at number 7 on my track rankings. So right kind of split in the middle.
7? I had it 4.
Okay. Yeah, I'm allowed to have my rankings, and you're allowed to have yours. I mean,
and half your rankings are crap, dude. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, so why do you have it 7th then?
I mean, this was actually probably one of the songs conceptually that was really good. If there was a concept to it, I really don't know if there was a concept to it. I haven't really looked into it because I kind of just took this as a playlist more than an album.
Oh, there's a clear meaning to this song.
I'm not saying there's not a clear meaning. I'm saying if you throw away the concept of the album, then it drops in my rankings. I love this song. I think it's a great song conceptually, but for the overall feel of the album, I just don't think it's higher than the 6 tracks I have ahead of it.
Okay. Okay.
I do see the Kendrick influence in his voice in this song.
Yeah.
And I really like the touching tribute to his friend at the end of the song. And it definitely shows his versatility and his voice and flow. So I mean, it's definitely not a bottom tier song. For me, it's not a top tier song, but I think right in the middle at 7 is where I decided to put it for those reasons.
All right, so I'm gonna explain why I had it number 4. Verse 2, it talks about his friend that you mentioned in the outro. It's like his whole story and like what they were doing. They were bumping this album before like it even came out, and his friend who passed away, he said it was better than the Lost Boy. So like this is like a really like sentimental memory for Cordae, and including it in this song. So it's just a really good song overall. Like the beat is nice. I mean, I just really do enjoy this song. Like, I really have no other words.
Yeah, so I said a lot of that stuff in mine, and I had 7. So what makes you put it at 4th? I mean, what stands out?
Compared to the other tracks, this song means so much more lyrically. It's his best lyrical work on the album. That's what I was trying to say, but my dumbass can't really put the words together right today for some reason. But okay. Yeah, like lyrically, this is Cordae's best work. He doesn't have any cringy lines like making girls shake like Tourette's. Any other ride this dick like a cucumber? I don't even know what that line was, dude, but it's ridiculous. But yeah, no, lyrically, this is his best work. I wish there was a lot more of this on the album, despite me still liking the album for what it is. But I don't think Cordae's just there yet. I think he still needs to mature, and this song is like it's a standpoint for like his maturity. If he keeps doing stuff like this, I think he can make a really good album.
Yeah, I think if the concept didn't kind of fade away in the middle of this album, this would definitely be higher up on my list.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't like the songs. I definitely do. I mean, I like a lot of the songs on this album, but 7's where I put it, and you put it 4th, so we'll go ahead and put Mama's Hood in at number 4 for Aaron and number 7 for me.
Yeah, and just to clarify before we move on to the next song, if we have a song low, doesn't mean we don't like it. I mean, I think we both really like this album, and we'll touch more on it in our album review. We'll have a link in the description when that comes out. But yeah, we're always gonna throw shade at each other. We're brothers. That's just how it works. So, all right, yeah. So let's move on to track number 5. We have "Want From Me." Now, where did you place "Want From Me"?
I had track number 5 at number 5 on my list.
You're probably not gonna like my placement then. I had number 10. Yeah, I know. I know. You want me to
What do you want from him, bro? Yeah, go ahead and explain why you have it
Alright, so like I said,
disrespectfully low on your list.
just because I have a song low doesn't mean I don't like it. It's the same situation for you in Mama's Hood. You have every right to beef at me because I beef at you. But I do like the vocals on this track. I think that intro and the chorus, just in general, it's catchy. Like we came into this album not expecting Cordae to kind of use his vocals like the way he did, and he kind of blew us away. So obviously on first listen, I was more fascinated by this song, but as I listened to it more and more, it kind of wears off on me a little bit. The production isn't like the best on the album in my opinion. I don't think it's the worst, but I don't think it's like in the best. I think it's just average. A lot of the production is pretty good on this album, so that's not really, not a diss towards the song. Yeah, it just definitely wasn't my favorites personally.
Dude, this is literally the one line that we talked about the most. Is it ever enough? We literally love that line, and I thought that in itself would have had it higher for you. I thought this song was amazing. I thought it was really good. I thought he's really versatile, and it's really a unique flow from him on the whole album. I don't really care that I cut you off. It's my turn. But the transitions from the choruses to the verse, and I mean, really smooth. And I really like the vocals, like I said, in the chorus. And then the outro skit fit perfectly into the next track, Today. I mean, it was kind of, I wouldn't say cringy, but it was kind of like, it was fun to listen to, and it really fit in perfectly to the next
Does
song.
it make it more cringy that was Eminem in the outro skit?
Stop the cap.
Yeah, but no, I get your placement there. I would have placed it higher. I mean, the songs I have below it, though, you might be shocked by one, but I feel like they deserve that higher ranking. I still do like this song, just not as much as anything else in the album. And the production definitely comes off as lackluster, and that's something I really, got a lot of from this album. So that's why it's so low.
Yeah, I mean, my top 4 are set in stone, but 5 through honestly 10 or 11 for me could be interchanged. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just
Yeah, I mean, that could be the same for me, honestly. This might change tomorrow, maybe, but like, if I had to have like a set track list for my perception now, mine would be it. So
yeah, 100%. So on to track number 6 today, featuring Gunna. I had this ranked 9th.
ooh, I had it 7th.
Okay.
All right, so you go first and explain why I had it 9th.
I wrote down initially that I thought it was one of the better productions yet. I thought the background beat was really, really good compared to some of the other songs on the album. And you really get another vocal chorus, a really good executed vocal chorus out of him. I didn't really necessarily feel like the Gunna feature was necessary, and I think that's why I have it a little lower. I think we could have got another Cordae verse, and it would have been better. But I think 9th's a fair rating for this song.
Yeah, and like we mentioned earlier, I feel like this area of songs right here could be interchangeable. Since I have it at 7th, I'll explain why. I really do like the production. Same thing you said. The trumpets blaring in the background, just like that trap style beat, fits really nice, especially this hype playlist of an album. I feel like this is one of the better productions of the album for sure. And you literally mentioned everything that I had. I think personally, I just like the production a lot more than the songs I put below it. I feel like that's why it's so high up. If Gunna didn't have a verse and it was just Cordae in the chorus, even if it was a shorter song, I'd still keep it at 7. Gunna didn't really do much. He wasn't pushing P on this track. It's ridiculous. He has the same style, it's literally like you're listening to the same Gunna verse every time you hear him. And that's something I don't like about Gunna at all. It's the same stuff from him. But yeah, other than that, with my only gripe of the song being Gunna, I can't really dock too many points from that because Cordae does insanely well on this track, and that's why I have it at 7th.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I said I'd prefer another Cordae verse, because he's not really repetitive. He can switch up his flows and his cadences really well, and maybe if he had a different feature, it could have helped, or just another verse in general. But I think the Gunna feature is what brought this track down so low.
Yeah, what feature are you thinking? Who do you think could like flow on this type of beat? Because I have someone that's literally works with Gunna all the time that I feel like could flow over this. Lil Baby.
I mean, I feel like Lil Baby can just fit on any song
Honestly,
these days.
the way he adapts to the beat he's working on is absolutely insane. That's why I really do like Lil Baby, and we'll talk about him later whenever he drops something crazy. I have a feeling he will soon. But yeah, so we're gonna move on to track number 8 actually, since 7 is Shiloh's interlude. Track number 8 is C. Carter, Coach Carter. Now, where do you have this ranked at, Corey?
I have C. Carter ranked 4th.
Nice. I like that. I have it at 5th.
Yeah, so this is definitely a top 4 song for me, and it's 4th. And here's why. I mean, I feel like you get a lot of J. Cole influence on this album, and I mean, J. Cole's a great influence to have. I mean, he's one of the best to ever do it in this industry, and to kind of base your music and your flow and your cadences off of him is gonna set you up for success very well. And I think this is one of the songs for sure that I wrote down that he really gives off that J. Cole influence. And yeah, just another crazy beat drop into verses, and then lyrically it's a really cool song. It kind of is more of a conceptual song. I feel like kind of goes into his life a little more.
Yeah, I would say he's like reminiscing on his life.
Yeah, and just overall really solid chorus, and song overall, and kind of getting back onto my playlist set. That's kind of how I set my rankings, was based off of not the album concept, but kind of listening to it as a playlist. I think this was one of the more enjoyable songs just to listen to. So
Definitely.
4th is where I decided to put C. Carter.
Yeah, so I put it 5th. This song, I didn't expect it to grow on me as much as it did. Because I liked it at first, but not as much as I do now. I feel like every time I listen to this song, just the flow he has, his lyrics, the reminiscent aspect, that absolutely amazing beat. I don't even know how to describe that beat. I don't even think there's an adjective you can use, because that beat it's pretty good. I feel like it's I wouldn't say like a J. Cole kind of beat, but even then, Cordae still uses his influence from J. Cole on this song. I did catch that. Didn't you have at one point he kind of reminded you of Chance on this song too? Kind of like not with his preachiness, but like his cadence and stuff like that.
Yeah, the cadences and yeah, just some of the kind of lyrics I heard kind of reminded me of Chance. I don't know if he has a Chance influence or not. I know he does have a song with Chance on the Lost Boy album, but I haven't heard it, and I don't know if there's a connection there. So
yeah, I mean, I think having C. Carter at 5th or 4th is respectable enough. We can't really crap on each other for that one, even though you tried to earlier. I caught that. I'm not letting that one sit. Okay?
what'd I do?
All right, moving on to track number 9. We got Sinister featuring Lil Wayne. So I had Sinister at rank 13.
Yeah, the song's booty. I have it 12th.
Yeah. All right,
So we can agree on the two worst. I'm not shitting on the intro track. It's just an average intro track.
Yeah.
But this song, Sinister, is the worst song, I think, on the album.
Yeah, and this song really fell off on me because at first I really liked the Hit Boy style production, but it's definitely not his best. I've heard so many good Hit Boy productions because of Nas primarily, but I mean, Lil Wayne just drops an average verse. I mean, it's nothing crazy. He tends to rhyme every word in this verse, which I find kind of cool, but he's starting to sound like Eminem, and we don't like that. But the beat, Sinister, it's really the only way to describe it. Cordae is all right on this track. There's nothing really stand out. And that's my problem with this track. There's nothing stand out. I mean, the production doesn't even stand out. And there's like every song below it, something stands out to me. This one just doesn't have that. But yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like Wayne's 0 for 2 this year on features so far, and I think we've kind of put the Wayne features on not only this album but the Weekend album lower on our track rankings list.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's a typical Wayne verse and it could be left without. And then it kind of affected how Cordae was on this song because he's trying to kind of flow like Wayne does and have a Wayne beat, and I just feel like overall it kind of impacted the song negatively. But yeah, I mean, I think personally this is the worst song on the album.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't think that looking at it if you saw Lil Wayne in it, but it really could honestly be left off the album in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, obviously, we are crapping on Lil Wayne start of 2022. I don't like that because every feature he had last year kind of blew me away in any way, shape, or form. But I mean, he's just average so far. That's all we can really give him. So I mean, I hate doing that, but yeah, it's just a song I don't really like, and it really fell off for me. And did you know it was one of the singles too? So technically, he dropped this last year as well.
Yeah, I know that now. I didn't know it at the time, but
Yeah,
yeah.
but still, like most people are gonna be hearing this in 2022 and be like, "Damn, this isn't 2021 Wayne. What's going on?" But it is what it is. We're gonna move on to track number 10 now. We have Chronicles. Now, you tell me where you had this placed at.
What do you think I have this placed at?
Too.
Yeah, that's exactly where I have
That's
it.
exactly where I had it placed.
Yeah. So our top three, same songs, just a little different order. You can kind of go ahead and, if you want, and tell us why you picked it at second.
Yeah, so I originally had this at number 1 for the longest time. I think I had a soft spot for it ever since I heard that Instagram snippet. It was Cordae singing it, and he performed on Jimmy Fallon, or not Jimmy Fallon. It was one of the Jimmys. I don't know.
I saw he was on Jimmy Fallon. It might have been him.
It was before the album drop. He performed that song. I think
Yeah.
he performed Super. I don't remember. I don't remember which one other song he performed, but
I saw the interview. I didn't watch the performance, but I saw the interview pop up on my phone.
yeah, no, I had a soft spot for this song. I still really enjoy it, and something I literally just learned earlier this day is that every verse in this album kind of tells like a story based on the artist's perspective. Like it's like Chronicles story on like their relationships, and like Cordae's is about his like love of with Naomi Osaka, and then H.E.R, who has absolutely amazing vocals on this track, rocks it on this track. Definitely one of my favorite features on the album for sure.
This was the best feature on the album.
Yeah. If you want to count Stevie Wonder's harmonica solo though.
Oh, we haven't got there yet.
But we'll get there eventually. But yeah, H.E.R talks about kind of her failing relationship currently. Then Lil Durk talks about a failed relationship. I thought that was really cool. This is like lyrically, it was pretty well put. Other than one bar we don't have to really mention, involves shaking and Tourette syndrome.
Yeah, we can just not talk about that because this song is amazing.
Yeah, no, we can. So
I honestly like it more and more that I hear it just for no reason at all.
It's just ridiculous. Like, obviously, people expect Cordae to be this mature J. Cole sort of rapper, lyrical rapper, but he's still finding his sound, still finding his maturity. And this song it's just a good song. Like, I can't really take that away just because of one bad line. Now, we did react to Token's album last night.
Siri, look up if Naomi Osaka has Tourette's for me.
Oh, God.
She does not.
Okay, we're good.
So it's not about her. But yeah.
Cordae's cheating. No, but what was I going to say? Yeah, Token's album last night. Cory and I listened to that, and a big problem on that album is that there's a lot of bars in every song that just ruin it. This is just one single bar. Like, it doesn't really affect me. It is pretty bad, don't get me wrong, but it still doesn't take away from the amazing vocals Cordae has, which are absolutely beautiful. I feel like you're floating when you listen to this. The guitar in the background, that little guitar riff gets me every time. I'm a big sucker for guitar riffs, so I absolutely loved it. Production really stand out. And yeah, I mean, that's why it's my number 2.
Have I talked about this track yet? God damn,
No,
it feels like we started. You've been yapping for 10 minutes.
Well, if you have to look up if Naomi Osaka had Tourette's and figure out if Cordae's cheating or not.
So yeah.
So I have a few more things to talk about.
Yeah, there's no way you literally touched on every single thing we could have talked about. Jeez. But yeah, I'm pretty much just gonna back you because we have it ranked the same. I think the Lil Durk verse was just kind of it's kind of monotone Durk. I mean, it's just kind of the same Lil Durk you get in every song, and I personally thought it could have been a different feature, another Lil Baby.
Yeah, I would say Lil Baby, or
But yeah, the H.E.R feature was amazing. I think her voice, no pun intended there. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Her voice and Cordae's voice are really good next to each other, and you kind of got that at the end of the song with the chorus. They kind of went back and forth.
Harmonized together. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, and yeah, I think her verse, goddamn, her verse was phenomenal. I'm turning into you.
It's transferring over now.
But yeah, this is my favorite chorus on the whole album, and I think I could have gave this number one status, but
Yeah, I mean, there's like a few things that you can't have it as your best track on the
yeah.
album. But yeah, no, I mean, I originally had this number one for the longest time too. But Jean-Michel, just listening to that song more, I absolutely love the lyrics in it. And Chronicles is still not a bad song. It's still like top tier for me for this album. So I mean, I've just there's a few things that bring it down for me to number two, and that's all it is. I mean, it's still a great song. It's definitely one of the best off the album.
Yeah, so go ahead and put Chronicles in at number 2 for both me and Aaron.
Hell yeah.
Now on to track number 11, Champagne Glasses, featuring Freddie, Jibbs, and Stevie Wonder.
Dude, Freddie Jibbs is going to be pissed at you on Twitter. You better watch out.
If Freddie Jibbs is pissed at me on Twitter, then we're doing something right. So,
all right, I had Champagne Glasses at number 6.
I had track number 11 at number 11.
Are you kidding? Now you really want Freddie Jibbs to come shoot for our house, bro. You got to chill.
You knew I was going to put this song low. Yeah, so I personally put Champagne Glasses at 11 just because I didn't really feel like it stood out to me that much. I mean, I feel like the standout was the Stevie Wonder harmonica at the end. But yeah, I mean, the Freddie Gibbs verse was out there. I mean, you kind of had that repetitive bar. We don't even have to talk about it because you already know it because you heard it 10 times in the verse. But I didn't really hate the Freddie Jibbs verse. I just didn't love it at all. And I feel like Cordae kind of differentiated his voice to kind of fit the feature, like he did in Sinister featuring Lil Wayne.
Yeah, no, I was gonna mention that the chorus sounds just like Lil Wayne, and that's not something I realized at first listen. So
yeah, I mean, I feel like he's trying to change up his style just because he has certain guys featured on the song, and I don't think that's where he excels at all. So I think 11th isn't shitting on the song, but
you're shitting because Freddie Gibbs told you you're constipated.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. But no, now let me ask you a question. Actually, if Nas was on this song, would you have ranked it higher? What do you think? Do you think he would have flown over this beat?
I mean, that's a big what if, obviously.
Yeah,
because I feel like if Nas is on the song, the Cordae verse is better, and it makes the Stevie Wonder outro hit even different. So yeah, I mean, if you're looking at it like that, I definitely would have had a higher.
Yeah, no, I think I'm in the same boat, honestly. But...
Higher. I said higher.
I'm gonna cry, dude. Yeah, I had Champagne Glasses at 6. With the Freddie Jibbs verse,
I got you saying Freddie Jibbs
dude,
now.
I have to now. We have to get him on Twitter, man. We have to have him start adding us, man. This is how it is. We get free publicity from it.
We probably gotta make a Twitter first.
We'll get there eventually. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I had Champagne Glasses at 6. Freddie Jibbs, not the worst verse I've heard. I mean, obviously he starts out with the constipated line.
And then he says it again.
And then he says it again. Then he says something about they can't shit on him again. But he kind of gets in his bag at the end of the verse, no lie. Like, his flow is absolutely insane. That's something you can expect from a Freddie Gibbs verse. He'll always have a crazy flow. He'll pull out of his ass, literally, and he'll just rap.
Okay, we gotta stop with the ass and the shit puns.
I was not trying, man.
You wanna know the funny thing? I wrote down originally, I said Freddie Jibbs, best feature yet. Then I have it ranked 11, so it's really kind of funny to see how your first listen and how you have it now is just kind of a whole different ball game.
Yeah, but back to Cordae's vocals and chorus. I mean, he does sound like Lil Wayne. He obviously wears his influences on his sleeve this whole album, and that's not something that bothers me that much, but it comes off really apparent in this song. I think his verse was good. I think he was pretty good during his verse, and one of the reasons why I have it so high is that Stevie Wonder harmonica solo, dude. Like, listening to that outro every time just gets me. I absolutely love hearing it. And the fact that Cordae got Stevie Wonder on his album is crazy to me. And if you would have Nas in the same song, that would have just been insane. Like, just the potential from that.
That'd be like a dream feature list, especially for someone who's on his second album and he's so young. That'd have been awesome.
I feel like Freddie Jibbs, my bad. He probably would have wrote a better verse if he had those two on the song with him. I mean, still. It's a decent song. I really like the production as well, that slower paced production that we don't really get a lot in this album. This is that song that kind of slows it down a little bit. We're going to get to another one here in the bonus tracks here soon. But yeah, that's why I have Champagne Glasses at number 6.
Yeah, so go ahead and put Champagne Glasses in at number 6 for Aaron and 11 for myself. And now on to track number 12, Westlake High, which is technically the outro track of the album. And then you get the 2 bonus tracks, which we'll talk about in a second. But I had Westlake High at number 6 on my track rankings.
I had number 8.
Okay.
I like it. So, yeah, so you explain first.
Yeah, I think you get a lot of cool lyrics on this outro. One I wrote down is "No human is perfect, and I'm not trying to be." He's just literally like trying to be himself, and he's just trying to do his own thing.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that really shows and says a lot about him and who he's gonna be in the next 4 or 5 years in the rap game. And I really like how I said this in the track by track we did. I really like how he's not afraid to be humble and kind of shout out his roots and his ties in the rap game. And you get it in this song with the Yo Gotti shout out. And he shouts out a few other people throughout the album. I can't remember where at exactly, but
Yeah.
that's something that always stood out to me, is that he's not afraid to, get back to his roots and never forget where he came from. And then overall, I think you get a lot of confidence in him in this outro track. And then, yeah, I really think this overall is a really great outro for the album. I do wish there was more of a concept to it, so maybe we could get more of a conceptual outro. But
Yeah.
overall, I think it's one of the better outros where you can just, from a playlist perspective, it's a really good outro just to listen to. In general, you wouldn't even know it's an outro, honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah, when I first listened to it, I didn't know the bonus tracks were bonus tracks, and I thought like Gifted was the outro, but this was apparently the outro for the album. So
Yeah, my point proven. I mean, it's really just serving as a song.
Yeah, so let me start off why I have it at number 8. First of all, I think this is one of my favorite productions on the album. However, the song was pretty short-lived. That's honestly one of the main reasons why I have it ranked lower than usual or lower than the others. The others below it are just like songs that have good production, and I can actually I like a lot more, and they're actual songs. Like they're fleshed out to be real songs. That doesn't disprove anything Westlake High does. I still absolutely love this track. Like you mentioned, a lot of the more humble lyrics come from this track, and overall, I think it's a great outro for a pretty decent album, I would say. So that's all I really got on it, honestly.
100%. So go ahead and put Westlake High in at 6 for myself and 8th for Aaron. And now on to the 2 bonus tracks. So the first bonus track, track number 13, is the Parables remix featuring Eminem.
Yeah.
And, this is actually a song that's kind of growing on me to this day. But yet I still have it 10th on my list.
Yeah, I was. This is a song that grows off of me actually. I used to have it pretty high. I had it around 8th or 9th, but I think I dropped it to 11th, and I'll explain why here in a second. But for the pros of this track, that beat is absolutely insane. More slower paced beat. It really hits you in the intro as soon as the bass kick comes in, the 808s. Absolutely hits you. I love this beat. I think Cordae is hungry on this track, the hungriest he is on the album other than Super. I really enjoyed his verse, his chorus. It's amazing. And then we get to Eminem. And I'm not the biggest Eminem fan. I really do like a lot of his work, but this is the main reason why I don't like his work, his more present work. I think Cory and I kind of talked about it a little bit before, but Eminem just kind of raps fast and rhymes everything without meaning. And he has some corny punchlines, like mentioning, spitting on Meek Mill and I came out of my shell like Obama's kids or something like that. It's just, I don't know. I don't like listening to it. I kind of skip the song when I get to M's verse. And overall, it's still a decent track. Definitely would have been better without that M feature. And since it is a remix, I mean, Eminem had to hop on this track. He had to get some feature, some big name feature. I mean, this song's still blowing up just because Eminem is on it. And the fact that Cordae can get such a kind of, not really stacked, but it is stacked.
It's a pretty stacked feature list, I'd say.
It's just a lot of them kind of underperform. I feel like they didn't really care about this album as much as, Cordae did in a way. I don't know. It's kind of hard to word that, but yeah, I just don't like the M feature. That's really all I gotta say on the song.
Yeah, just kind of kicking off with the Eminem feature. I feel like he just tries too hard. I mean, I feel like the rapping fast only is entertaining for a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Do you
if
know
there's
that? Do you know that meme where it's like that white kid who's like, pulsing out his veins and just like in class? Like that's literally what Eminem is, dude. That's how I envision Eminem in my head.
Yeah, and if you don't have any meaning behind your lyrics, then I just don't see a liking in it for myself.
I mean, it sounds okay, but this song it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah. I think I would have liked to see an extended version of this instead of a remix because I really do like the start and I like Cordae's verse a lot.
Definitely.
I think if this was an extended version, I'd have it higher. But I can see why you'd want to get a name like Eminem on his album. I mean, it's good for publicity and for streams. So kudos to him for that. But I really would have liked an extended version because I mean the beat's awesome. You get a confident Cordae
Definitely.
and a bonus track that we didn't even know was a bonus track.
Yeah. And I mean, before we move on to the next track, like another instance of Cordae wearing his influence on his sleeve. It's so clear here. He literally copies one of Logic's flows. You know, he has this cadence that Logic uses, and just that broken up flow. Heard Logic use that before. I literally played the song for Cory a while ago. It's almost the same thing. It's a similar beat too, but like it's still pretty good for what it is. That's probably another reason why I have it ranked so low. Honestly, if I have to be honest with you, but yeah, it's not a bad track. I'll be honest. I still enjoy it.
Yeah, so put Parables in at 10 for Cory and 11 for Aaron, right?
Yep.
You get 11th? Okay. And then on to the last track, the second bonus track, track number 14, Gifted, featuring Roddy Ricch and Ant Clements. I had Gifted actually ranked higher than you probably expected. I mean, if you're keeping track, you know exactly where it is.
I actually haven't been keeping track. Where do you have it at?
I have it 8th, so I have it kind of in the middle.
Yeah, no, I have it 9th.
You okay?
Yeah. So I'll explain first why I have it at 9th. This song, it really did grow on me. I think this was my least favorite track at first when I first listened to the album. And that kind of just like built its way up. I really enjoy Roddy Ricch and Cordae kind of just like trading verses and lines and stuff like that. I think it sounds really good. Their vocals are both amazing. That chorus, it's an earworm, dude. It stays in my head every time I listen to it. Even when I'm done listening to the song, I'm still humming it. You know, it's just such a catchy chorus. And that beat, the beat's pretty nice. I mean, I wouldn't say it's my favorite production off the album, but it's up there now. Now I've listened to the song more and I've gotten a grasp of it. The song primarily just like talks about Cordae's like uprising and how he's worked for what he has, and I really do like it. I think Roddy Ricch is definitely one of the better features off the album for sure.
Yeah, I agree. And if you're done talking, I'll go ahead and get into my reasoning.
Actually, I need to talk about Ant Clements, who's one of my least favorite features. I don't think he offers anything crazy to this song. I feel like it could have just been Roddy or Cordae singing the pre-chorus. I mean, his vocals like aren't bad, but they aren't great. They're just kind of average, and that's another. I mean, that might be why I have it ranked a little lower than some other songs, but
yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think if Jim Carrey was just kind of unnecessary. I mean,
yeah, Jim Carrey definitely could have flew on this beat, dude.
I would have loved to seen that, but yeah, I think the thing that stood out to me the most was the back and forth vocal performances from Cordae and Roddy Ricch. I really liked that a lot, and kind of getting back to how I ranked my tracks for this based off of a playlist more than an album. I feel like this is another song that I would really like to have on a playlist, like maybe more of a chill playlist, because you kind of get that vibe from this song. But overall, this is probably middle of the pack for a reason for me, and I have it 8th. So yeah, that's where I have it rounded up for this album.
Hell yeah, and that will end all of the songs we ranked. So, I mean, yeah, I think we both have pretty personal lists. A lot of songs kind of scattered, definitely more than Dawn FM. I feel like we had different views on certain tracks. And yeah, I think we both have pretty interesting lists.
Yeah, I don't think they were too far off in many components. Obviously, we've been seeing eye to eye for both of these album rankings for the top songs on the album.
Definitely.
I think the bottom songs as well, but you kind of get the more debate in the middle part of the album, so that's always fun to do. So yeah, now we will be going into our consensus rankings. So what we do here is we take both of our rankings and we kind of average out the scores, and that's how we base our consensus rankings. So yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys in a second when we get our list done. Alright, so for some reason, the audio in the consensus ranking list video didn't go through. I don't know what happened. My mic's been doing that recently. It's kind of annoying. So it's just A speaking right now. Corey is at work. So yeah, I'm just going to say the list. I'm going to start off with a tie for 12th. We have Sinister and Shiloh's intro. At number 11, we have the Parables remix. Tied for 9th, we have Champagne Glasses and Gifted. At number 8, we have Today. 7, we have Want From Me. At number 6, we have Westlake High. Number 5, we have Mama's Hood. 4, we have C. Carter, or Coach Carter. And we actually have a 3-way tie for number 1. We have Super, Chronicles, and Jean-Michel, which I don't think that'll happen ever again, but that's pretty interesting how that happened, so it is what it is. Yeah, I would ask Corey what he thinks about this list, but we already talked about it. He's the one who wrote it down, and he's not here. So I'm just going to head on to the outro. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. It really does mean a lot. Do you guys have an opinion you'd like to share? Go ahead and leave it down in the comments. And if you enjoyed our video, be sure to share the channel, like the video, and subscribe. Since we're just starting out, spreading the word of our channel would be greatly appreciated. This is A speaking, signing off.